I want attacking, purposeful football all the time. Now we're going to have backs against the wall and we're going to fight, and we're going to fight hard. You've got to show me all the guts and all the determination you've got in your body. You've got to inspire me.
A marvellous kick. That's as good as you'll ever see. And Footscray are back in front.
I don't know about you guys, but if I see one bloke walking out of here, give the paddle back from people out there for a good effort, I'll spew up.
From inside the centre square, Boyd kicked the goal. Boyd kicked the goal from inside the centre.
Hey Pack, welcome to Danny Boyd, a podcast about the greatest football club in the known universe, the Footscray Football Club, Proprietary Limited. They trade as Western Bulldogs. I'm Danny McGinlay. Tom Boyd is with me.
I'm here at the Tom Boyd Oval. I mean, the Ted Whitten Oval, I think. It's good to be here. It's been an interesting ride the last few weeks with the men's season wrapping up and the women's underway.
You weren't here for our interview with the president. What
Yes.
is your, in 25 words or less, analysis of how the men stuffed up?
There's a meme online which is from GTA 5, I think, which is, oh shit, here we go again. I feel like we've done the same thing 3 or 4 years in a row, where we just look unbelievable in patches, but then for whatever reason can't get across the line. So we've got some holes in our consistency, and I think, the rumour mill has started. I actually want to say this is the worst week of coverage that I've seen for the bye before the finals, just about ever. Yeah, I don't even know if there's a game on tonight. I'm not sure. I haven't heard any commentary about it. I haven't seen almost anything. It's all just been about the different blokes who are like in this pseudo trade period that we're talking about, which doesn't actually happen for another month. Yeah,
but to be fair, it's Collingwood Adelaide. I'd block that stuff out.
Yeah,
well.
I'm actually a bit on the Adelaide bandwagon. I like the way they play.
Okay, no, I've got this from a few young Bulldogs fans.
I like the way they play.
No, see, you're too young to... I know you were only 2 when 1997 happened, but that was the most traumatic thing to happen until probably last year's elimination final. Anyway, we can talk about the blokes. I'm bored of them.
Yeah,
they're rubbish. Let's talk about the great hope of the Whitten Oval, the brilliant Pups, as they're called. Let's just get our guest. She's here. She's patient. Tam Hyett, head coach. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, it's exciting.
We've also got to give full disclosure to our listeners. Tom Boyd is acting as a mole right now. He is openly said, for those who haven't listened, openly said not a Bulldogs fan this AFLW season.
Well, a fan, but from afar. I'm watching my sister play in the North Melbourne team, and they are absolutely dominating at the moment. So,
but when you play with a Boyd on your side, I mean, that's just like putting FIFA on easy.
maybe talk about Matty Boyd. But yeah, no, it's been actually great. I think one of the things that I've learned this year is how far the AFLW competition has come, and it is it's not only a wonderful viewing experience, but the quality and the systems that are in place, and obviously watching North, who are on the top of the ladder, they've got everything down pat from a cultural point of view and a team point of view and a structure and a system point of view. And my first question for you, Tam, was how do you actually go about building a culture? Because, North Melbourne's an interesting example because in the women's, they've seemed to have got it all figured out, but in the men's, they're a disaster, right? So in the same club, you can have the polar opposite. So how do you actually go about building a culture within a group and a team?
Yeah, it's a very good question, and culture is it's almost an it word when it comes to team environments. It starts with standards and behaviours. So I think that, and strong leaders. So North Melbourne have had the W program from day dot. When they were one of the first expansion sides, they've brought in really strong leaders.
Yep.
And that's for me where it starts, because they're the ones of influence and can influence good behaviours, but can also influence poor behaviours. But they've got it right. They've got a lot of, Emma Carney, great leader, Jazzy, Libby Birch is now there. So really strong standards and behaviours, and can't say too much about the men's program. Don't have much intel into that. But then also Croc, he's a ripping fella.
Darren Crocker.
Yeah,
yes,
Darren Crocker.
He's a ripping fella.
He's a great fella.
But I suppose, what are the advantages once you do get it right? I mean, I'm sitting back and watching, my sister join the club this year. Started in the VFL for like one game, and then she got picked up, so then she just stopped playing VFL and do pre-season again. She had like a 6-month pre-season. It's like the worst thing that could possibly ever happen.
Longest pre-season ever.
Yeah, I know.
The pre-pre, then the pre,
and then
you've got 12 weeks.
Yeah, that's it. So like Dad said, Tess is going to have like a 2-to-1 ratio of pre-season to season. But I watch her, and Tess is, from a lifetime point of view, relatively inexperienced as a footballer. She really only started playing when she was like 21.
Yep.
She's 28 now, or turning 28 in a month or so. And I watch her walk into the side, and now she just looks like she's been there for years.
Yep.
Is that an advantage of having a set culture and a set system that people can just step up and occupy a new role?
Absolutely. You see it in those teams that have been successful, and the W League has only been going for 10 seasons, in its 10th season. The ones that have real stability around their club are the ones that are at the forefront and the benchmark setters, and that's North,
Brisbane,
Melbourne,
Adelaide.
Brisbane, Adelaide. And they've had real stability amongst their leaders, but also program staff. So you walk in there and you already know what to do because you've got people that are really consistent with the messaging, been there for a long time. So that helps.
Yeah, we're on to you're our third coach
at
the Bulldogs. And so I want to know, I mean, you probably don't have an insight on this, but this is more me just throwing a tantrum, stamping my foot. How come those clubs didn't get stripped?
Pillaged
as much as well. Like any time a player's good for the Dogs, like bang, you go off to an expansion club.
Well, it's interesting because we operate off a tier-based salary cap. So you've got Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, so or soft cap, however you like. So there's the incentive has to be what else is added to that because it's not a monetary thing. We were just speaking about this actually as a coaching group. So there's got to be some sort of other incentive. Now, whether it's commercial, whether it's opportunities from a working environment, but they were pillaged to go to expansion clubs. So potentially they needed a change. But yeah, I can only speak. I came from Melbourne.
Yep.
And again, it comes down to the environment that you created.
Yeah.
And the environment at Melbourne, and we speak about, I don't want to speak too out of school, but I was very similar at a club where the Melbourne W program was thriving.
Yeah.
But the men's was completely different as far as culture. But they were very separate, and that's potentially what assisted the W program to thrive is that they weren't across what was happening in the men's program from a
Stephen May wasn't inviting you out to dinner.
Well, no. But so and strong leadership with they were separate venues as well, so they didn't have that overlap. But yeah, very similar to what you spoke about at North Melbourne is that really strong culturally with the W program and led by you have Mixtoneer, Daisy Pearce, Paxi Paxman and Kate Hoare, who are really strong, and so they create that and very similar with what you're seeing at North Melbourne.
I think that when we talk about culture, we almost 95% of the time talk about great cultures, right? Like you think back to the Geelong era, or even Geelong now, right? Geelong for the last 15 years.
We want to be there.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing that I see is that, say, in my experience, I had no draw to stay at the Giants, even with a big deal obviously offered from the Dogs, because I was sitting there going, this environment is not good enough for me to actually just block out all of the opportunity that's available to me. And I think if you look at the guys who are, say, in the news at the moment, like TDK and Silvani and those types, they're sitting at Carlton going, is this good enough for me to ignore a huge amount of money to go to? But the question I have for you is that in the example where we actually talk about culture, I would say that there's more bad cultures in footy where you actually get used to losing, and the identity as a club you have is to lose. And Melbourne is a great example of that in the men's. Right? For years, they were just in this position where if they got ahead, it was like psychologically they were already broken and they were waiting for the team to come back and beat them.
Yeah.
How do you try and first and foremost make sure that's not a possibility at a club that has had, as you said, a lot of change and turnover in personnel over the years to make sure that building an identity of winning is actually bigger than just the people that are here?
Yeah, so for me, and you can't have you can have talent, and then you can have behaviours.
Yep.
So if you have really strong behaviours, you're going to
give us an example of one of those.
So for us, we double down on little things like time, being on time,
Yeah, sorry.
Efficient.
I was like, it was 5 minutes
Are you
late.
waiting for something controversial?
No, it took me like 7 years to get over the PTSD of never being late. Like,
But they're the
footy
simple
clubs,
things.
yeah, it's
like,
really
it doesn't
important.
take talent.
No.
But it sets a really strong message around the expectations is we're in this together, so let's be across all the little attention to detail things, which
respect,
don't take
right?
talent.
Respect.
Yeah,
It's respect for other
absolutely.
people,
Yeah.
respect for their time.
So then once you go out onto the field, you're ticking off on the little things off field, and then it becomes easier on field, and you're not reliant just on talent. And that's what we're trying to create here is a real strong behaviours, which then the flow-on effect is strong systems, and it becomes that next person up. So you're not just reliant on one or two from a talent perspective.
Yep.
And we feel like we've set a really strong foundation last year on the back of that, and now it's about, okay, the performance piece. So we're not relying on talent. We now want to spread the load. And I think we're seeing that we're able to do that. Obviously, there's a few things that we've probably got to be better at, but I think for anyone that actually comes and watches us rather than just judges us on a score, if they come and watch us, they can see that.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to watch the practice match against North Melbourne. North had quite a strong side, and the girls absolutely blitzed them. And I said to Danny, and I said to a few people, one of the great things for me as a football fan coming to watch the girls these days is, and I can't even describe exactly what it is, but they look like footballers. Do you know what I mean? They know how to hit just late enough to make sure that they put a body on. They know how to line the player up properly when they're trying to get a ground ball. There's just this very, very clear picture that these are all footballers as opposed to 10 years ago when it was a lot of basketballers and cross-coders coming.
Yeah.
So it's obvious that there is improvement in the group, but we typically, when we were playing footy, obviously the scoreboard ends up being a bit of an outcome rather than an input.
Absolutely. Yeah,
so what are you looking at as a coach, and maybe what can the fans look for as an input to that outcome and the leading indicators, I suppose, to us improving? What are you looking at and going, we're actually getting better even if we're not getting the result?
Yeah, and we just had this, I showed the girls in our 12 games, so we've broken it down to quarters, right? So we've just finished the first quarter.
Yep.
So quarter one, if we look at our statistics, last year we were poor contest, we were poor clearance, pressure. We're number one for pressure. We're top 5 for contest, top 5 for clearance. So already we've seen an improvement defensively and around the contest.
Yep.
Now, we are getting opportunities on offense, but what we're not seeing is the execution piece. So for us, that's where your scoreboard comes into it. So I think at the moment, we have to look at the stats sometimes because unlike North Melbourne, who are quite established when it comes to that team cohesion, they've been together for a long time. We still are measuring success on other things. Now, I bloody hate to lose, so we want to be winning. But there's things that we need to tick off on first that's going to create that winning culture and that sustained success. So for us, the contest defence side of it is tracking really well. The opportunities we're having to score are tracking well. We're just not finishing off our work.
Yeah.
And externally, the industry is a win-loss industry.
Yes.
And we have to be better at scoring.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And we're doing everything right, but finishing off our work.
And from an individual's point of view, who's leading the charge, you think, in that pressure and contest space for you guys?
Oh, look, Jess Fitzgerald is so unheralded.
Yeah.
I think that
Except for that pocket who go nuts for her.
Yeah, that's,
all of her family.
Yeah.
I love that Jess crew.
Yeah, she's
She's a cracker.
a star.
Yeah, we've had her on the pod. She's brilliant.
Yeah, she just goes about her business. Really, really tough. Like she comes across, she's so sweet.
Yes.
Off field, but she's bloody tough and hates to lose. But then she's got that beautiful skill on the outside. But then we've got Lizzie G, who just really
Elizabeth
doesn't give a
Stardust
shit
for the Muggles.
Yeah, doesn't give a shit who she comes up against. Really, I don't really care what you've done. I'm going to beat you.
Nice.
And so she sets the tone, and then so they're probably the two that go a little bit unheralded. But yeah, it's across the board. We've seen significant improvement across the board. So, we're impatient industry. As I say, we're 1.5 years into what we think is something really promising with this group we've got.
Do you have, and I know a lot of coaches hate, do you have a 5-year plan? Do you have a 3-year plan? Are we going to win the flag this year?
Oh, look, you're going in to win all the time. What's your plan, Daddy?
Yeah. My plan, get through this podcast without looking too stupid. It's not going well so far.
Isn't it funny? That was mine coming into it as well.
I've looked at the first quarter and I've gone, okay. But,
No. You're going all right. You're going all right. You got good teammates.
I know. He's come out swinging, which is great.
You need good teammates, right?
Danny's a bit overwhelmed.
Well, we're doing
what does culture be?
Peek behind the curtain. We're doing 2 interviews today, and Boydie could only come to 1. And I'm like, I need you for 10.
Yeah.
to talk actual football. The other one's just nostalgia. That's fine. I can do that.
Yeah. Well, you managed last week with the president. You know, he did message me beforehand, and he said, "Tom, what do I ask? How do I ask a question that's not like completely just based on emotion?" Yeah. After what was an incredibly
I'm all about emotion.
Oh, sweet.
Right? Yeah, go for it.
Well, answer when are we going to win the flag?
Soon, hopefully soon.
All right.
So I just got signed on for another couple of years. So
Yay.
I would hope that.
So the club thinks we're going to win a flag in the next couple of years.
I think that we're laying the foundations to, as we say, is we want to create that winning that culture word as well. So putting ourselves in positions to win, consolidate a few things this year, but also in the women's game, you're able to climb significantly in a short period of time, and that's our aim.
Well, and President Watson Wheeler said to me last week about how the football department have to sort of explain the game plan to the board and go through things. You have to do that as well, I'm guessing?
Yeah. I love going into the board meetings.
That's our first person who's ever said that, probably in history.
No, because I take vision in there. So everyone loves vision, right?
Yeah.
And so we get a little bit sidetracked, which is generally what I do anyway. So
what's the football IQ of the board here?
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, and it's pretty.
That's what Kylie said as well.
Yeah.
I would, okay.
It's also been a relatively stable board, because here's one of the things that I imagine at, say, Carlton, right? And you don't have to agree with this, Tam, because you're in this. I'm not in the industry anymore, so I can say.
Hey, don't give him ammunition. We're playing him this week.
Yeah, but Carlton in the men's.
Yeah, right. Thanks.
The men's board?
Yeah, come on. No, Vossi board. No, as in Vossi as the coach goes in there and he goes, and one of the persons on the board goes, "So why is Cripper not getting 50 touches every week?" Like that's the kind of questions I expect when you have people in those positions. And why aren't you playing this bloke in this position? And you're like, that's not where he plays. And I feel like that happens at board meetings all the time.
At Carlton.
Oh, and St Kilda and North Melbourne probably, and a few others. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, the board meetings I've been in here, they are a very knowledgeable board.
Yeah. And did you have to do that for the extension as well? Or how does the extension work?
That's a decision by them.
Yeah,
really.
but as in, did they approach you? Did you approach them?
Yeah, a bit of both.
Bit of both.
I think so. So the way it works is present some stage during pre-season present at some stage during pre-season as to, the areas that we want to improve on and what to look for, which helps them.
Yep. Signposts, sort of. This is where I'm on track.
Yeah, and a few stats.
And can you reveal those, or will that give away a game plan?
No. Well, we wanted to be better. We were 18th in contest stuff last year.
Which is last.
Yeah, which is last.
Thank you, Tom.
So the only way up.
We're currently, I think, second or third.
Great.
When it comes to contests. Huge. And we came up against probably the number one contested side on the weekend, which is Hawks.
Yep.
And
it was a scrap. I mean, people have slagging off the scores, but it was tense the whole time.
Yeah. And it's finding that balance, right? Because then you look at other games where it's a 90-point blowout.
Yeah.
So I think
100 in the North Melbourne.
Yeah, it was.
100.
Yeah.
And let me say this: there was such a clear picture in my head of a team who was trying to save the game from Fremantle's side, and they basically just retreated back and back, and then all of the halfbacks for North Melbourne just lined up and just had a field day. So it's sort of one of those things where you build the game on contest, right? That's how you teach players to play the game properly.
Yeah, and that's where it starts, right?
Yeah.
It starts at the source, and we've actually evolved our offense. So statistically on the scoreboard, it doesn't look great, but we are, as I said, just in the first half, we had 11 scoring opportunities missed, right? So you change that, and then the narrative changes.
And when you say missed, we didn't even get to have a shot on goal.
Yeah, like based on skill error.
Yeah.
So when you frame it that way, and then you see the scoreboard, and that's probably my frustration is the people sometimes are commenting on the score. They haven't actually watched the game.
Yeah.
I'd say all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where you got to take it with a grain of salt a little bit because the people that matter are the ones that are watching, the eyeballs on, and the investment. But
a fair few of the people criticising were angry that for Indigenous round, I didn't put an Australia flag on the banner. So there was a lot of comment about that. And I don't think those people watched the game.
I'll leave that one to you, Danny.
You deal with that one.
But yeah, so that's the frustrating side of it, and you know everyone wants to score. You don't play this game the most fun is on offense, and that's what we're trying to
celebrations.
Yeah, absolutely. You get energy off the work that you do, the defensive contest stuff, and then you get energy on offense.
Yeah, maybe to reframe the frustration a little bit, I often say to people that if you walk into a AFLW game expecting to see AFL football, you'll be surprised and mistaken because it's not the same game.
16 aside.
Yeah, 16 aside. But what would you say that the outstanding differences and advantages that the women's game has compared to the men's? Because I see it very differently, but I'm really interested in your thoughts.
Yeah, well, probably, the men's game, the strength around kicking the footy, so clearing lines and stuff like that, so they can kick the ball further.
Yeah.
So probably a little bit more one-on-one in the men's. You can kick over lines and things like that and create probably a little bit more opportunities with ball in hand.
Yeah, but that also means that the reaction to that is that teams try and stifle the ball.
Yeah,
right?
they do.
So in the men's,
but that's the women's as well.
Yeah, but I feel like in the at least, and again, I'm a little biased because I'm watching North Melbourne a lot at the moment. But the link up handball chains is not in the men's.
No,
right? Not like it is in the women's,
yeah.
and that is fantastic to watch. That's like old school men's football when it used to be until we worked out we could just kick farther and faster, right? So we don't do that anymore, and the team defense really shuts down that link chain. But it's much more open in the women's, I find.
Yeah, it is, and that's with one less at each end.
Yeah.
It definitely helps that. So that's something that that. Like we're trying to use the ball more by run and carry.
Yeah.
I think because we can't kick it as far.
Yeah.
So let's take territory by run and carry.
Yeah.
And that's probably something you'll see. You'll see more flair. I reckon especially with the Irish girls.
Yeah.
Like they're bloody fun to watch.
The way there's the one with the acronym at North who's escaped me at the moment. She's got two last names. She's
new.
She's new, and she bounces the ball
like a basketball.
It's hilarious, and it works.
It works. Yeah.
It does. At full speed. I'm like, you couldn't pay me to do that.
It does look more efficient.
Yeah, it does, and it sort of goes forward whilst you're running rather than back, right? Because if you're running at full speed, trying to bounce the ball in front of you can be quite challenging.
We had a list management meeting yesterday, and I just said, like, they got so much speed.
Yeah.
Plus, I would love to go over to Ireland and have a few days off the kids
awesome.
and stuff like that. But,
it is awesome.
So that might be our strategy, our recruiting strategy for next year.
Pubs and music, Dublin is a great place.
Yeah, I've been there.
Wow.
I love pubs and music.
As an actual person with Irish heritage, I reckon we're doing a lot of the Gaelic football and getting all that. Northern Ireland. That's where you want to go. Belfast. The proper rough ones.
I've been there too.
Yeah, sweet. You understand.
It's I actually travelled to Belfast with from golfing days, and one of my best mates was a caddy, and his name was Gerald Adams. So
Jerry Adams.
Jerry Adams going through
the leader of Sinn Féin, the IRA political wing.
And I'm like,
gotcha.
Yeah, that was an experience.
That's not a good Mum and Dad were a fan.
Going across the border with Jerry Adams.
Well, people either love you.
Yeah, I know.
So he had to show his passport.
Absolutely.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so, that was an interesting experience.
It's funny what parents get inspired by. Like my dad named our dogs Juddy.
Juddy and Liver. But right. I'm guessing Gerald wasn't named after Jerry Adams.
No,
Can't confirm or deny, probably.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So, how's the current list looking? A lot of we put this out to listeners, and everyone's just like, who's the next big thing? I mean, who's the next Ellie? Who's the next Dee Berry? And because we've got such a young list, it's almost hard to keep up with who's going to be who's awesome.
Yeah, we do. We've got so Emma McDonald, who's was our first draft pick in last year's draft. She's a gun. She's basketball background, like just pure raw bang and crash, key forward. You almost don't want to take the rawness out of her because that's what makes her. She'll just launch at anything.
Brilliant.
So she'll be exciting to watch for a few years.
Yeah,
There's
we'd
another
like-
key. Yeah, you like the key forwards?
Yeah. Keep talking key forwards to me. Because, this is a club that didn't have one for 45 years. And then, we've now got two in
Now
the
we've got
men's.
$1 billion. Yeah.
That's why they had to park the Renaults because they got one in. So they had to park the Renaults for a while. But yeah, no. So she's exciting. I reckon Kaylee Kimber, who was injury replacement last year, 21, key back, but just NF's given. Like she's just
like
ruthless. Love her. And she'll be around for a fair while. She'll be top 5 defender in the league, I think, eventually. Yeah, she's a gun.
Is there any position on the ground where we need some growth or we have opportunities to improve, do you think?
Yeah, we probably, with 16 aside, you need to be able to play a couple of positions. We probably need another inside midfielder.
Yep.
So then we can utilise talent a little bit more across the park.
Yeah.
So then we might be able to put Jess Fitzgerald to half back, where I think that I think she could be an All-Australian in the middle, but I just think I see her across half back and I go, yeah, that would be nice to be able to flick her across there as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably another midfielder.
Yep.
I think just to because you can always rest them forward and things like that. So
which is either, obviously we can bring in from the outside, but again, if you look at the men's program here, you look at the likes of Ed Richards and those guys stepping up. It does come from internally at times.
Yeah, and we've got probably a bit of growth in that area from the education piece.
Well, Toby should probably do a bit of that,
Yeah.
Toby
midfield
McLean
coach.
is, was the first ever guest on this podcast.
Yeah.
Is your assistant
Did he
coach.
come in on your back?
No, the girls did that.
Yeah, they did.
No, Toby wanted to play midfield for a long time, and he didn't get there for a while, and he spent enough time in the gym and he learned. So I think that's actually the kind of guy you want as a coach, the one who is desperate to get in there, as opposed to the naturally talented types. Like, people think that great players make great coaches. Often not the case.
Yeah.
Because they never had to work it out the hard way. They didn't know how to deal with being the 44th player on the list or the person who was scrapping to get a game at all. They just knew how to play well.
Yeah, real-time experience.
Yeah.
So,
and I think Toby put the work in. He's also had all of the negative experiences of footy with injury and those types of things, which I think makes him a great asset for the team.
Yeah, he's been great with our group. And Cal Brown, who's come across from ex-Collingwood player, he's looking after the back, so it's a bit of a Beatles vibe.
Yep.
At the moment with Toby and Cal. So yeah.
Are you scouting for players that can coach? Are you able to build your own team, or is this done with?
Yeah, I think we're in a period at the moment from like the 12-month athlete. The players now are 12-month athletes.
Yeah.
The W program, and it's probably something where the coaching hasn't caught up yet.
Yeah.
And we're hampered by soft cap and things like that. So we've probably got to progress a little bit there within the coaching.
Maybe that's just probably a really good question.
Yeah.
So what is the actual coaching calendar for you and the assistants? What does that actually look like?
Yeah, so I'm the only full-time coach.
Yep.
And then so our line coaches, our 3 line coaches, they basically come on board in pre-season.
Yep.
So
like similar to like a VFL commitment time, maybe even less?
Pretty much. So you're looking at maybe 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
Like that's paid.
Yeah.
But then we're very lucky. We have a really invested group, and you build that on the back of relationships. So we've got a few coaches in at the moment that I worked with at Melbourne, who have their own business, so they can take the time out.
Yeah.
And we're very lucky in that regard, but we can't continually rely on goodwill.
Yes.
And that's probably...
Footy clubs will try, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not the footy club.
No, the AFL will try.
It's the AFL. So
do you still have limits on how much time you can spend talking to players?
22 hours we get.
That's it.
Yeah.
See, we had Nathan Burke on, and he said he would often just take his dog for a walk at the coincidental same time that Ellie Blackburn was doing that.
Yeah.
And they weren't allowed to talk about footy, but if it came up.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, it's how do you want to grow the game if you're so, there's handbrakes everywhere, to be honest, around their own development. And the girls want to be better. But the rules that are put in place don't allow us to, especially it's really hard to say no to them when they want to get better.
Yeah.
Because we're restricted by the time.
Yeah, right. So they've made it into a position where even if the girls elect to do the extra, they can't.
In the off season, we have a blackout period.
Yeah. So even if they rang you up and said, "Hey, I want to do some training with you," you could not really say yes.
I've got a twin sister.
Yeah.
So she could help them
Tam
out.
Hyett.
She could help them out.
Here's what happens in my experience with rules around like, oh, you can't train this much. They go, but if you want to play, you should probably do extra. That's what they used to say in the men's, at least.
Yeah, well, if you want to be good at something, if you
you can't do it part time.
No, you need to be putting in the work.
What do you think they from a programmatic point of view? What do you think they're missing out on, the girls at the moment? Fundamentally, is it more skills training?
Skill acquisition. Yeah, absolutely, and it's an ongoing discussion, especially I have with the high performance crew. Around the word loading, and it's.
Every coach in the history of the game has never liked the word loading. Do you know what loading means, Danny?
I don't know.
Loading is like we don't want to overload.
You can only run 100 metres, not 101.
Yeah. No. High performance people are stupid.
They're great. They're
great,
not
but
all
they're
stupid.
See, I'm the high
They're great,
performance
but they're not, you know.
person at my son's under 11s. But that's because I'm the loudest person on the sideline. I don't think they knew what high performance
Everything
meant.
about you reeks high performance,
Thank
Danny.
you.
I tell you what.
That's
you should sell a program online.
Yeah. So it's then, we probably had a group that we needed to improve their fitness last off season, not this one just gone, and then the self-investment from the group was really good, and then it's like, okay, we need skill acquisition to take over now. So
this is like in the men's program, for those who are listening and don't, this is like the extra one-on-one training that they can do.
Yep.
It's the extra light skills session that you wouldn't be able to squeeze in the schedule. Green floor, nets, all of the...
Green floor?
Yeah, the fake turf floor inside Whitten Oval to do all of the extra touch.
And our players are still learning that.
Yeah.
Like, we've got the resources, and it's like, you can go out there and use it.
Yeah.
So the encouragement, we want the players out there.
Toby would be
all
great at
the
teaching
time.
that. He was a madman on the green floor. So, but you're right, like, it's expected of you in the men's program. You'll be in there doing touch before training. You spend an hour doing that. You do an hour in the afternoon. You do extra training on your days off. You do all of the time. The more time you can spend with...
That's embedded in you coming through, and that's what we're trying to create with the girls.
Yeah,
but aren't they not allowed? Because
Yeah.
it's only 22 hours?
Well, you can do your own stationary...
Yeah, but it's a cultural thing as much, right? So it's the kind of thing where you go, well, for the girls to manage playing footy at the top level at the moment with the wages as they are,
Some
they need
still
to work,
working,
right?
uni.
Though having said that, the 5 girls I met up with in the pre-season were not working, but some of them are.
Because they're all still living at home. That's why they don't
were all
need to work.
we actually were trying something new. We're going to just play footy. Anyway,
Wow.
I was like, interesting. Go do something.
Yeah, it's all about balance.
But to that point is, with everyone who is managing different schedules outside of the club, then there's not just this momentum built within the group where you just do this stuff, right? Because we're here together all the time. We might as well be getting better. It's almost like the laziness of us is like we might as well be out there doing something practical.
Yeah.
Well, we've only got you for a couple more minutes. We always love optimism on this podcast.
Yep.
We want to. I mean,
Glass half full.
Well, we want it 3/4 full.
Yeah, always.
So Dogs fans are hurting still after the men's.
Yeah.
We had a great win against the Tigers. Did you now? I'm always like, yes, beat the Tigers because, Katie Brennan and Monique Conti and all that, especially Katie Brennan. Hey, you're our captain. You don't get to walk out. Come on, all that.
Fair enough.
That didn't happen in the men's either.
No.
It's the what?
Right, Griffin.
Griffin. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's repeat behaviours, isn't there?
Culture. But do you use that to fire them up, or is it not?
Not really.
No, we just beat them organically.
It's been a few years now, right?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, but I hold a grudge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's why you're a fan.
Yeah. No, not really.
So how will you motivate the players this week against Carlton? Are you an emotions based, or is it just keep to the systems?
I've learnt how to do Keynote.
Yeah.
So I pride myself on Keynote at the moment. So
you've got a couple of your minions here.
Yeah, I do.
Mia's just she wanted me to say her name so we could say
Keynote's
that
just Apple PowerPoint.
Yeah.
So what's your most used phrase? Like if it has to be, it's up to me.
Simple brilliance.
Simple
brilliance. Yeah.
that.
So attention to detail, simple brilliance. Don't let perfect get in the way of good. That's
Yeah.
one
Oh,
that I
that's
wrote.
good.
Pritchie loves that one.
Fake it till you make
Yeah,
it's one of my favourites.
yeah.
Do you ever use a movie? Do you ever watch put on Any Given Sunday or 300 or?
That would go over the blackout period.
No, yeah.
Any given Sunday goes for 4.5
It is a long
hours.
film.
Yeah.
Well, you just need that one inch by inch
Yeah,
speech.
yeah.
But
Every now and then, more music.
Yeah.
More
Oh,
around
yeah.
music. So we have
Yes.
our
Okay.
theme is around, we're a band, so
Yeah, bring your
creating an
instruments.
album. Yeah, bring your strength.
Yeah.
Not everyone needs to be the lead singer.
We
need
had
some
that as well.
Yeah.
yeah, Bring
Sometime.
Your Instruments was
Yeah, yeah.
2016 grand final.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right.
I did want to know.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We've got a member on the coaching team that
Yeah, it was in there.
Didn't even tell
Toby
me
didn't
that.
listen. Toby was too worried about doing his hair
Bevo
before
really
the game.
sold his message, didn't he?
He's like the drummer, Toby.
Yeah,
Don't worry
yeah.
about that.
Oh, no, he's in percussion.
What music do? Because we've talked about what the blokes listen to.
Crap.
It gets.
They listen to crap music.
Really?
Like,
Oh, no. It was good when I was here.
I
Well,
love
know,
it
but
when they throw it back.
I want to know if it's different, because apparently the blokes get more and more into metal and hip hop as you closer you get to the game. Is it all? They're very young. Are they into
Yeah, they
K-pop
are.
demon hunters? I don't know.
No, there's a fair bit of Bieber flying
Oh
around
God!
at the moment.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Well, that would work. That'd make me angry.
Yeah.
Maybe as a slight note, maybe we change that. We might get a few more
Yeah.
scores.
Yeah. Bit of Bieber. Oh,
Bieber.
there's some rubbish that they like.
What would you put on it?
Dixie Chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your favourite.
Yeah. No.
That's not very pump
Queen.
up
I
though.
like a bit of Queen.
Oh yeah, good.
Queen could
Yeah.
pump you up.
Yeah.
Don't stop me now.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah.
Champions.
Yeah.
Although the nutritionist wouldn't like fat bottom girls. That's
No.
not.
No. That wouldn't get across. No. But yeah, no. I don't mind the old power ballad though, but that's not something that's going to rev you up. I put that on the green floor at one stage,
gotta have
and
some bass
they
in
all came up to me and took a welfare check. I'm like, listen, like it's just good to belt it out.
Yeah, okay.
I've had to do a lot of them this year for my dad, who's a Carlton supporter, as a side
Yeah.
note. But anyway, he's been a big rugby fan this year. He tells me.
What's his
Store?
power
What's his
ballad
on the
of-
store?
No, the welfare checks.
Oh, the welfare checks. I thought you just play him a power ballad.
No. Or maybe he need that as well. But for the rest of the year, what are we looking for?
Rest of the year, wins.
Yes, wins.
We want wins.
Me too.
Um,
Oh
we
my
win
God.
this week. What are our chances this week?
Yeah, really good.
Yep.
Really good. Carlton have improved, but so have we.
Yep.
I think if we, take our opportunities
Yep.
and execute with ball in hand, I don't see us not coming away with the win.
Weather play a role. How do we go? Well, I saw us play in the wet. Didn't seem to bother us.
No, we're okay in the wet.
Yeah.
A day game this week, which would be nice.
Saturday?
We played, Saturday 3:00.
Yep.
We played.
What do you think
Richmond.
about the 3:00 game time?
Great.
Great for a spectator.
I don't mind it. What I really liked the other week was a 12:30 game.
Oh, yeah, 1 o'clock
like, you
games
just
are the
you just
best.
get up and you go.
Yeah.
Like,
You're a
and then
big
you got
fan.
the
Big fan.
I think that might be the spot for women's.
Yeah,
Like 12:30.
yeah.
Like the quarters are only 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. So you got 80 minutes. Then roll
Also,
it in.
one of the massive advantages of the women's is the shorter game time. I would say leads to much more consistent quality across each quarter. Is my experience.
Yeah, I would have loved to have gone for an extra minute or two last week
Yeah.
because we couldn't
Absolutely.
we were from 10. We just had the green sign up
Steve,
10
one of
minutes
those-
ago. Win, and
You're one of those
and
local timekeepers that just lets
Yeah,
the
let
clock
it
run
go.
out when it's a bit
Let it
close.
go.
Oops, I forgot to press time off.
we needed one of those last week. We were hammering them, peppering them.
All right, this is the final question. I know you got
All
to go. What do you want from the fans this year? This is your message to the pack. You get to the game, be loud, right, the vibe at a women's game is very different to the men's.
Yeah, it
like
is.
the loudest dickhead is
so
me.
much better.
It's so much better. It's so,
So much
supportive and
Yeah.
stuff. But do
So
you
much
want to?
better to bring a 3.5-year-old girl to.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
better.
Yeah, and I think because they understand where the game's at the moment. Like we're only 10 seasons in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not 100.
We're really only
You know,
3 years into actual professional.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
Really, last year was the first year where girls could actually now invest in their own development, really, because they didn't have to leave training to go to work.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So
keep doing what you're doing, or bring a
absolutely,
bit of mongrel,
we've got great fans. So
Yeah.
the ongoing support, we love that. We're very lucky here that we have really loyal fans. But also, as Boydie said, is the environment here at the women's game is so inclusive.
It's
and,
brilliant,
Yeah,
Needs more food trucks,
I just
but-
think, well, there were.
There was plenty in North Melbourne.
Yeah, all right, mate.
Well, every now and then, a day game, you can actually smell the waft of Bunnings sausage sizzle coming over. So that's, I'll tell you what, we were
Torture
warming
on the
up the other
field.
week, and I'm like, ooh.
I feel like I had
smells
that
good.
once in training. It was horrendous. It was absolutely horrendous.
That is torturous.
Yeah.
No, but our fans are brilliant, and the girls really appreciate the support. So just be loud.
Yep.
Be loud, come down,
Yep.
show up.
Absolutely.
Get down there.
We will be there this Saturday against Carlton. And
3
then
o'clock,
all
Icon.
the home games.
Icon.
Yep.
Great place to watch footy.
Great women's venue, like the
awesome.
Whitten
Second
Oval.
best.
Love the place.
Second best.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Slightly less windy than here. So it depends what you like.
Please beat North Melbourne.
I gave my childhood to that roar of the red, white and blue sea, and the knowledge that you had two loves, the Bulldog boys and me. 20 years on, I feel that longing hanging in September air. But the reason I go every week is to pretend you're still there. And they will find the glory one day, and I will throw it at your feet. It's a long, long road they're running for you, the dogs of Foot's grey streets. It's a long, long road they're running for you, the dogs of Foot's grey streets.